We are live again today. Grateful to be alive, grateful to be on another day of the journey. Kind of was a little more reactive today. Didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to, which is frustrating. Kind of just chose to, you know, wallow in my self-pity more or less today, which wasn't good. So hence we get the message for today about being of a solemn heart, of a dignified, pure, basically more or less like decided. You're living a decided life. You've decided who you're going to be. You decided where you're going to turn when things get tough. And you're ultimately just going to not let things of this earth shake you. So, yeah, I think sometimes we go through things and we want to understand it in the moment, but you're not going to be able to understand it in the moment. You're going to be able to understand bits and pieces, and God will help you to move forward. And the best thing you can do is just seek to make the most of everything. And that's kind of it, because like you're going to have these moments where you get washed off, like basically washed overboard, and you have to be willing to stay in it. So if you have something that you feel like God's asking you to do, He's going to provide a way for you to accomplish it, but He also needs you to hang in there with the waves, because there'll probably be bigger ones in the future. So a lot of it's that choice. It's that, I decided which way I'm going to face, which way I'm going to go, and just staying true to that. So, yeah, I think I've been on social media a bit too much recently. I think that's affected my overall energy and feels. I've also made way too much space for other people's garbage and not like taking out my own trash. Like I'm helping people take out their trash metaphorically instead of like working on my own stuff, which, there's a benefit to helping others, of course, but you don't want to do that endlessly where you never get to helping out yourself. That's called insanity, and you don't actually get anywhere that way. So you have to be a little bit selfish at times. I've had times recently where people were reaching out and stuff, and I'm like, hey man, I got to get this done. I understand you want to talk to me, but this is my righty time. This is my walking time, and you got to protect that time. You really do. So, to be of a solemn heart, you have to have more or less a solemn schedule, have things somewhat figured out so you can be living that life. Proverbs 4:23 talks about how everything flows from the heart. Everything in life flows from the heart. So if you want to have a solemn heart, like a focused disposition, like it has to all connect, and you gotta stay true to that. And I think the toughest part is to do this without any applause, without anybody really noticing, until years down the road, when all these good habits have added up, when all these things have stacked up for you. But it obviously doesn't happen immediately. For me, doing these 30-minute live streams is helpful. We're figuring things out. I'm honest here. I don't force anything. I don't rush anything. We just get it out there, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So I would like to be in a better place financially, physically, mentally, and doing these every day is helpful for that in some way, shape, or form. Certainly doesn't take away from me. And I think that's cool when you find those things that it really is like a 100% benefit for you. So, yeah, we're just kind of walking around. But yeah, dude, like I've seen today how I've been a little bit of reactive in heart, you don't get very far that way. Lukewarm, reactive, those kind of things, like it doesn't work out very well for that guy. You look far enough and it doesn't work out very well for that person. So trying to learn from today, learning to just let go, because I'm not here to save everybody. I'm just here to do my life, point people to Jesus Christ, and then I die and that's it, you know? So it's like, I just need to give myself the grace, be like, all right, God has created me to do some awesome stuff. And I think some of that stuff I've already done, so that's cool. But ultimately, the best things in my life will happen as I freely just let go and let him. Thanks, Kathleen Cat Attack 08, welcome. Yeah, we're just feeling things out. You know, you understand, you get some feedback. You're like, okay, well, I didn't like how that felt. I got to do better at that. For me, yeah, no worries. For me, I've learned that I need to like plan out the day. I got to lock in, got to be better with that, got to be training for something. Whether that's like better financial success, whether that's, you know, being able to speak at schools or whatever. It's like you got to be training for something, because God is always seeking to prepare you and lift you up. And it's tough because like there might be somebody that God used to help you out, and now that person is now holding you back and they're not helpful anymore. So you have to make a decision, cut them out completely or make space for them with boundaries. Some people can't handle boundaries. They take it too personally. It's like, but here's the thing. Like, if you're going this way and I'm going that way, and we spend all the time that we had while we were going through that same cave together, we're going to both end up really upset and sad. So there really is no reason to end the loneliness just for the sake of spending more time with a person that you're not supposed to spend time with. Unless you want to stay small. If you want to stay small, then you can go right ahead. If you want to go back into the cage that kept you small, that kept you from feeling your divine potential, then go right ahead. You can do that. The cage is open, but you are going to run out of time. The real vacancies are at the top. They're not at the bottom. There's plenty of vacancy at the top if you're willing to climb up that high, if you're willing to hang in there. But the people that are like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fiddle along and get along and figure it out, it's like, well, guess what? You probably won't graduate from that level of thinking because you're just so used to getting by. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just do that, because then you're not able to help people as much. See, the solemn-hearted person, the person who is just resolute, standing there, it's like that person, you can really rely on them when things are difficult. And today I did not do that. Today I did not do that. And I was kind of like the wave that was driving back and forth. What's up, this stock explorer? What's up? But I can't afford to do this again. It felt icky. It felt not great. And I don't like it. So it's like we gotta do better at this. So I don't know. If you feel like you've been gaslighted, if you feel like somebody is trying to take too much of your energy, I feel that. I know what that's like. It's like a death by 1,000 cuts. They haven't like cursed you out or done anything, but they're interrupting your peace. They're doing all these things, and it's not good. It's not good for your energy. It's not good for your mental health. It's just not good. Like, people have to be willing to give you some space if you really need that space. Because what if like it didn't happen, but what if like some really important person in my life died today? What if blah, blah, blah? Like, I don't need, this person from 2 years ago reaching out to me just because they're lonely. I don't need that. So I think people can get the energy by by what you're doing. So just be out there doing good, and good things will flow. But it's really tough. I think you really need to understand and be like, okay, what kind of heart am I going to choose to have? How patient am I going to be? And then orchestrate your whole life to support what you want it to be. I want it to be an abundant giving life, an abundant giving heart. And so that requires believing in abundance, believing in better things to come, and just doing what needs to happen, so you can start making that progress. And also being okay with these videos where, if your thing is you're doing your YouTube or whatever, you have to be okay with like these ones where you're not real. It doesn't always seem like you're making much progress, you know. But you hold on to the ground you've already won, even if that ground's limited. You continue forward. I think the toughest thing is the willingness to truly give yourself the grace that you weren't willing to give yourself like a year ago, or right after you did that really foolish thing. The problem is you can relive experiences that are negative. You could relive it through somebody else, or you could just relive it in your mind. Both are very not good. Not good at all. Like, there's a lot of new things happening, but you miss the train, right? You miss the train if you are so caught up in your own world. And I've experienced that too. So I know there's been times where I feel like it just doesn't seem to be connecting or working, but nowadays, more of the times than not, it's me not being willing to ask for help, me not being willing to open up to people. But once you're willing to do that, I mean, I think the world really starts to open up for you more. But that's kind of where we're at today. It's like, how do I make sure I learn from today and not be a reactive heart, but a solemn one? Because there's that quote that says you'll make changes when it's like really painful, and you've decided that the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same. So yeah, hopefully that's of some benefit to somebody. We're just walking around, getting the time, stacking up the days. That's how that goes. But yeah, I look at just how good a God is, and how understanding he is, and how just merciful he is, and mind-blowingly good he is, and everything else. He's just so quick to help you to let go of what is harmful and what is not serving you. And then yeah, you just have to stay with it. You just have to trust it. So no, you don't have to welcome people back with open arms that treated you badly. You don't have to force yourself into going to things you don't want to go to. You can be of that super consistent, focused, diligent heart and be like, you know what? I have decided that this is how I'm going to walk each day. And I understand there are drawbacks. There are things you miss out on. However, if you're choosing Christ, then anything you miss out on is certainly worth missing out on. So, but this is tough stuff. But once you start to understand this, like, life really is a lot better for you. So yeah, we're just walking today. We're just walking, getting some steps in, and contemplating. It's like, okay, today I was way reactive. How do I make sure I do better next time? How do I show up for myself? Because there's still some healing to be done. So it's like, anytime for me, like when I'm writing about some story, something that happened, like it helps connect dots. It helps me see the whole game board more clearly the game board of which I didn't really know much of what was going on, but it helps to see that. So ultimately, you want to show up for yourself. You want to give yourself the grace that you need to move forward, because your life is a blink of an eye. It is extremely short, and this season is even shorter. So the only thing you'll have is like all this work you put in and the results and the fruit of that. So I can't go back to any of the days from last year, but I can go back to any of the videos I made. Hornet, what's up? I can go back to any of the live streams I did. I can. Like, oh yeah, that's how I was feeling. And then you can like get an understanding of how you're feeling at that time. But regardless of where you want to be, your heart needs to reflect that. If your heart needs to find healing, then a lot of that is up to you. You need to figure that out. You need to understand what is causing your heart to like kind of change a little bit. Your birthday, dude, that's amazing. Happy birthday. That's legit. Happy birthday to Hornet. Yeah, so when you're willing to just really live in that way and be like, this is how my heart is, and I'm going to accept this. So to give you a more concrete example, my dad is very like on the ball, very gets the job done, extremely dependable and stuff like that. But he also doesn't have really any side things that he does. No side hustle. He has some hobbies, but like, he's just kind of chill. And that's the way he's decided to live his life. And I remember one time I was talking with him about it. He's like, dude, I love my life because I get to do the things I like to do. I get to see all my kids. I get to, do all these things. I think that's the way to win, is really understand like, okay, like what kind of heart do you want to have? And does your life reflect that? For me, it's like, it's a very abundant, very giving, very understanding, very patient, but also extremely locked in and putting what God says over anything else. And so that takes time, it takes faith, that takes all those things. I'm walking around, I'm in Utah right now, actually. Walking around, getting some steps in. We're taking two birds down with one stone. We're doing the 10,000 steps right now, and we're also getting the 30-minute live stream out of the way for today. So yeah, I think I'm around 5,000. But the beautiful thing is, like, once you get on a streak, once you get things going, I mean, you become very difficult to stop. You really do. So it's easy to stress out about things and to make stress the habit. It's not good. It's not good. I'm telling you right now, it's not good. When you're running to something for the purpose of like helping you out, but it's not like the work you need to do, like you need to make sure you are putting in the work each day. Do I watch WWE? I do not, actually. Not something I was raised with, but I do know what you're talking about, obviously. So yeah, it's like you gotta just, I really hope me in the future will go back and watch this, me in the future, and just be like, all right, I remember that day. I remember how I was feeling. I remember ways that people did not respect my boundaries. I remember just overall how I was feeling overall. And I remember that any of the moment that I gave to God, like that moment got better. Any conversation I gave to God, it got better. That's what I remember from today. The NBA is awesome, yeah. NBA is great. I've watched a lot of NBA, but I don't, I really just watch like highlights and clips. I haven't watched too many games. So yeah, you just have to understand this. It's like when you understand, like, okay, like this is the kind of life I want to live. Now I need to build my schedule to reflect this. And what this does is it makes it so you can show up at the highest level for the people that need you the absolute most. See, with your energy and time, like, you don't have unlimited time, money, and energy. You don't. I believe there's abundance, and obviously you can get more money, not necessarily more energy or time, but you need to make sure you're like, okay, like, this thing I'm doing, is it bringing me energy? For me, doing these things is helpful because I can go back and, if I didn't make any money today, I can go back and be like, all right, well, I made that little thing. Got to talk to Hornet a little bit. It was his birthday. Cat Attack was also there, so that's cool. Yeah, and just kind of putting in the work and leaving the things to the side that you have to leave. See, this is tough. I mean, it's like you're driving in this cross-country road trip of life, and you have this person that has been in the car for a while, and you realize, like, okay, like, this person's hogging a lot of the food, they're being negative, and I wish they were out of the car. Well, you got to understand, you got to have that conversation, be like, okay, like, you've already come far enough with me, I need to let you go, because you're literally hogging all my resources. I think this is literally one of the most important things to figure out in life. You got to understand, like, there's a resource management going on. You want to have some budgets figured out so you can help other people out. I have a friend that has had some health difficulties, and yeah, if I had some money left over, I could have helped out, but I don't. I barely have enough to sustain myself. And that's tough. That's tough. I think I'm at like 880 subscribers last I checked. I don't know. We're just showing up for me. That's like, I obviously do this for the people that come back, and hopefully this is beneficial for them as I figure these things out, as I understand, like, okay, like, how do I want to think about this? Okay, well, how do I make sure that I get these things flowing? So, like, just a couple very clear things. I don't have a job right now. My newsletter, I haven't posted it recently. And yeah, today I was very reactive. So it's like, okay, like, we need to improve all these things so I can be flowing towards where I want to go, being in line with that abundant heart I have, but I need to act like it. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't like you. That's frustrating. I would say building out a YouTube channel, it depends on what the channel is. But when I did a gaming YouTube channel with my friends, I mean, a lot of it was, you have like a spike of viewers and stuff when the video comes out. Like, ours was Tuesday. And so that was something that we kind of got used to. That's where you'd get the new people and stuff. With this channel, I go live every day, and I've done some other stuff, but not too much has really happened with it. So I think a lot of it is the willingness to stay in the game, try new things, not give up. But it's a battle. It really is a battle. It takes time. So, we're just fighting. We're just fighting every day, fighting to get to a better place, trying to like make sure I give myself the grace I need to like elevate and stay up there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Hornet. Yeah, I think someday. There's that quote from Winnie the Pooh. It says, "The rivers all know it. There is no hurry. We will get there someday." So I think as long as I'm willing to keep showing up on here, rain or shine, that really is a lot of it. Rain or shine, showing up, just being me, not hiding, vulnerable. Then you can reach people and stuff. So yeah, this is just where I'm at right now. This is just a snapshot. So patience, though. Patience. And patience has to do much more than just like sitting around and not engaging with things. It also comes down to showing up each day, letting go of things that aren't for you. Yeah, I agree. I should get some sleep before I get 1,000 subscribers. I agree. It's a good idea. Good idea. I appreciate it. So, yeah, we do these as a 30-minute thing at the minimum. We'll go longer if we're really feeling it. Today I'm not super feeling it. We're just getting it done today. Showing up, very simple. Stacking up the days. And if I hadn't shown up today, we wouldn't have got this little message about having a solemn heart out there. So I'm glad we got it done. Grateful for the friend that gave me some snacks today. I'm grateful for the friend that let me kind of vent and share things going on in my brain. Grateful that God is aware of where I want to be in life, and He's helping me to get there day by day. And I'm just glad. I'm grateful to be here. I think once you've had some real tough experiences where you don't feel present, you don't feel safe, you don't feel heard, you don't feel seen, you don't feel great, you feel not great, you remember that stuff, and it's easy to, you just feel for it, and you remember, and you're just grateful that you're not there anymore. So, soon enough, I won't be living here anymore. Not like I'm trying to force things along, but this time is really, really short. As long as you're willing to live in line and do what you got to do. What's up, Ivan? What's up? So, yeah, it's this heart thing, dude. It all flows from the heart. The heart is where all of life flows from. So the healing is going to take time. You're going to have high days, you're going to have low days. Today is kind of a more low day, learning kind of day, and that's okay. You just got to be willing to show up, man. You just got to be willing to show up. Because wherever you want to be is going to take battles, and it's going to take giving those battles to God. It's much more about surrender than hustle. Way more. More about surrendering it to God and recognizing He has so much help He could send just like that. Whatever the stress is, it's tough. But you got to accept that. Say hi to your nephew and nieces. Hello, Ivan's nephew and nieces. I hope you are doing great. Hope you are doing fantastic. Yeah. I'm down. We're just kind of chilling outside here. Grateful. Very simply showing up. Very simply. So, yeah, no worries. Glad I could do that for you. So, ultimately, you want to have God's word on your mind and be living in it as much as possible. I love Joshua 1:8. It says, "This book shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest do according to all that is written therein, and thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success." So, just kind of even just thinking about the scriptures helps you a lot. So, I think in a lot of things in my life, I'm trying too hard, and I don't need to, dude. There's not this thing I need to figure out this perfect way. All you have to do is give it to God. There's been so many people that have lived already, and you just kind of give it to Him. You're from LA? That's cool. I've never been to LA. I was gonna go to LA as one of my flights was gonna land in LA for a little bit, but yeah, what ended up happening was my flight got super delayed and ended up going a different way. So, yeah. Yeah. Appreciate the little wins. Don't throw away the progress just because you're feeling tempted or stressed or whatever. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away, because there's times where I've felt tempted or stressed out because don't have enough money. It seems kind of dismal, and then it always works out. It always works out. So you just have to let this go. Let this go and be all right, Currently, I'm single, don't have a job, living here, which is fine. But I know this is not my last stop. This is just a stop on the way. Like, there will be some healing that happens here that will help me in the future. And so the key is to like let this be a healing place, a healing season, a healing stop as much as possible. So this is like my first full week of living here. I think there's been some ways it's been a healing stop, and other ways I felt just not so great. A Karen broke your bike? That's really lame. Super lame. So anyway, we'll talk again tomorrow. If you end up being here, I might have to start doing like a consistent time, because that would probably be best. Do like 7 p.m. Mountain or something like that, and then just like keep it locked in at that. So, but the struggle with that is like, what if somebody schedules something? But anyway, for now, we're just working on consistency, just the showing up, and everything else kind of will fall into place from that. But yeah, today's been a humbling day. It's like, I really don't feel like I showed up for myself very well, which is painful. It's tough. So I'm like, bro, like, you're young still, relatively. Like, what are you doing, man? You've worked out a lot to get to a basic level of physique that, you know, I can run a lot. So you gotta respect that. Not throwing off the energy, not throwing away the gains, not throwing away any of that stuff. We're just chilling, enjoying the journey, and not feeling guilty for it. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks, Hornet. Thanks, Ivan. Thanks, everybody else that was here. I will see you tomorrow. If you do show up tomorrow, subscribe. We're going to get to work and get some things done. So tomorrow's stream is much more uppity. Not like today's was bad, but I definitely want to be better at showing up for myself. So today's gave me a lot of perspective on how I can do that better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. God is good. See you next time. Bye.